you maybe start with telling us a little bit about you, about Allegro, and what you do there?
Sure. Marta Piotrowska, and I'm head of marketing AI, media buying, and MarTech at Allegro. Allegro is the biggest e-commerce platform in Central Europe. We sell every day more than 250 million offers on our page. So it's a big player in this part of the world, located in Poland and also in Czech Republic as of 2023. So the role itself combines business sides like buying external touchpoints, Meta, Google, TikTok, and so on. It also combines creating AI and machine learning algorithms to make sure that we can spend marketing budget more effectively. Last but not least, obviously the whole tech stack and the strategy, how we leverage our data platforms, first-party data, and so on.
What problems were you trying to solve when you started looking at MetaRouter as a possible solution for your tech stack?
So we started to look at MetaRouter somewhere end of 2022, beginning of 2023. As mentioned before, Allegro is such a big player. We do have our media mix quite fragmented, given the fact that we need to reach a high customer group. So we do have our ads being available almost everywhere, not only with global players like Google, Meta, TikTok, but as well with growing number of local providers, affiliate platforms, and so on. So from this end, you could see that the technical stack was very fragmented, quite chaotic in a way how we pass through the events from our website and application to those players. Many times we did it in a repetitive way, affecting the website performance, which is not something that you would want in e-commerce business. So that was more the business objective. On the second part of the rationale was also the whole Europe, how it reinforces the security of the customer data. So either through the GDPR or through the DMA regulations that are recently being implemented on the markets, but as well simply because of the announced by Google, the cookie depreciation that was moved to this year. But in this anticipation, we knew that we need to change the way how we do our marketing and advertising activities before it is too late.
And can you share, what led you to choose MetaRouter for your customer data strategy?
First and foremost is the quality and security of the customer data. It's essential to our strategy. It's also essential to the European Union or Europe regulations. So we needed to make sure that whomever we choose is 100% compliant with those regulations and has the highest standard, while making sure that the customer data is protected. Second of all, we do also want or have it in our strategy to use not only the third-party data, but as well strong, durable signals like emails, mobile device IDs. When we were approached with what MetaRouter is showcasing, we saw that we need to fix first this chaos or the chaotic data infrastructure that we had, because whatever then you put inside of TikTok, Google, if you put the mess, you will not get the results that you wanted. So definitely in the context of the e-retail or e-commerce platform, fixing the way how we event our website and how we then move from the third-party tags into the first-party server-side solution was a prerequisite before we can talk the next steps, which is the CDP.
Yeah, the old adage of garbage in, garbage out is very true, and I think it's very smart of you to have chosen to make sure you get the data correctly in first and then leverage it later on in a CDP, because it's often a source of problem. Nevertheless, implementing MetaRouter before integrating a CDP is an interesting strategy. We see some people choosing to do that in the market, but some other not. Can you elaborate on your thought process behind the decision of specific benefit you're anticipating by adopting MetaRouter first?
We wanted to make sure that the data quality that is fed into the CDP is the highest quality. Such a big platform as we are having, we are getting billions of events every day. Making sure that we kind of fix the leakage of this data stream was super important, because then the CDP can only work when it has actually the right data, the right inputs. Even imagine the situation where I said in the beginning, we have these 250 million offers available on our page every day. And then because of the data quality, what your ad shows is totally something that your customer doesn't want to see. That's something that was many times the case in the past when the data was leaking throughout the whole ecosystem. So that was for me the one of the most important. Thanks to that, we have the right quality and the security data, secure data that we can then feed to CDP, and from CDP pass through the omnichannel communication in all the digital marketing touchpoints. In that sense, it sounded for us naturally given the strategy that we had.
And how has MetaRouter specifically improved the data quality and security for Allegro?
One of the things that MetaRouter has or is being doing in a unique way is the fact that it's taking the events from website and application in first-party context and not the third-party context. It's not only more secure, not dependent on ad blockers or things that are diluting the way and what we can see from this data that customers give us the consent, but as well we see more of those events because of this case. So with that, you are improving almost everything because your SEO is getting improved. The fact as well that MetaRouter's way to make sure that the right consent is being triggered on a very granular level. So if the customer doesn't want the communication in TikTok or Meta, then we make sure that we get them out of this path. Is something as well that is specifically important to make sure that we deliver to our customers exactly what they want. So I would say those two, making sure that we see more events, but as well the way how we control how the data is syndicating and enforcing consents on the right granular way are the two paramount value added that we see from the platform.
Yeah, the filtering capability is something that I've heard a few of my customers saying it is really great to be able to, for consent reason or for other reason that the company may have, to say, I am not sharing this data.
It could be also strategic reasons, right? So that what you can see is as well, those vendors are sometimes also your competitors in a way, as they also have their own marketplaces in some countries. So with that sense, you might not want to share anything, every single event to a specific ecosystem, while you are fine to do it in others. And then, this granularity of decision and control is something that is super important.
Yeah. How does MetaRouter fit within your tech stack, and what problem are you excited to solve with MetaRouter's help?
Yes, and I think that's a very critical point. Even though I introduced Allegro as a business company, e-commerce platform, we consider ourselves as a tech company because everything that you see on our website or application is actually in-house built. Taking something from outside as a software as a service or platform as a service is not a number one decision that we usually make. Having said that, we needed to make sure that the MetaRouter fits our tech stack. Again, it's proved to fit seamlessly. So we can integrate our MetaRouter to whatever cloud provider we decided to work with on our private cloud's ecosystem infrastructure. And then we are able to also capture all the data across. So, sync it with MetaRouter platform and sync it back to our cloud ecosystem. That is also something that is essential in our context before the CDP creation, because usually then we already have the data infrastructure built within the controllable cloud ecosystem that we have, and not sending the data outside of this ecosystem.
How did you sell MetaRouter to your other internal stakeholders? Because it takes a village to agree on such decision.
Well, yes and no. So first and foremost was the business case. So from the business side, if you just sum up all those benefits that we saw from implementing the MetaRouter, it is a solid business case from the incremental revenue GMV or simply decreased risk of compliance or the security of our data. So the business case is very strong. Obviously, it was harder to get the buy-in to take someone from outside versus building in-house. But where I see MetaRouter playing the vital role is having this strategic and long-term vision of how you see yourself in 3, 5, 10 years from now, and making sure that you follow the industry trends immediately. So as said, the business value and the control and governance it speaks for itself. And then the cherry on the cake is simply more like a partnership that can be built long-term versus, switching the providers every quarter to whomever has the next best thing.
When you look ahead, what do you envision are the key benefits for Allegro as you continue to work with us?
The way how you're adapting to these continuously evolving privacy regulations or changes that the vendors itself are applying on the markets is something that is really is striking through, and so therefore we can make sure that we always have the up-to-speed and up-to-date solution. What we also appreciated is the joint strategical work partnership, that it was not only our side that we came up with the business cases and you were on the execution angle, but I felt it was more, both ends, in the sense that we also got from you a lot of inspiration of where should we take this business moving forward, or what are other companies like ours doing, specifically that you have the global footprint. So that's something that definitely we see moving forward. So business as usual, but with these innovations that we can further build together and have this sustained success in the dynamic digital landscape that we observe.
That's really great to hear, Marta. Thank you so much for all of what you shared, for the confidence you have in our product, and for sharing your insight with us today.
Thanks for having me. Look forward for the continuous work together, and happy also 2024 cooperation.
That is true. 2024, here we go. Let's bring some more success.